Hello everybody and welcome to our live stream. My name is Andrzej Lemensky and I'm an enterprise account executive at JetBrains. Today we're going to be talking about how businesses can unlock the full potential of AI for software development. More specifically, we'll show you how Junie, a JetBrains new coding agent, helps you to do that productively, safely, and with minimum disruption. When we think about AI in software development, we imagine it being fast, high quality, and reliable, just like Formula One car. That's the vision many engineering leaders have. But getting there may be harder than you expect. Here is what we'll cover today. AI-powered development, where the opportunities are and what challenges remain. We'll take a look at Junie, our new professional AI coding agent, and it will be followed by a demo of Junie in action. And finally, key takeaways and special offer for attendees. Let's get started. According to Capgemini, the use of AI agents in organizations has grown 3.5 times last year, and that number will only go up. Adoption is accelerating across the industry. For example, Microsoft says that 20 to 30% of its new code is already written with AI. Google is at 30%, and Anthropic reports staggering 70% of new pull requests written with AI. Even experienced engineers who were initially skeptical about AI tools are now on board. They are enthusiastic about the new opportunities AI brings. As AI tools get better, confidence in them grows. And that's not surprising after all. 3/4 of developers experience productivity gains from AI tools, as shown by the data from our own developer survey. Each year, this survey collects responses from more than 20,000 developers. 2/3 of developers say that they save at least 2 hours a week using AI tools. Many save 4 hours, many save 8 hours, and even more. And that's the time that developers can reinvest in shipping features, improving architecture, or reducing technical debt. And again, this is the data from our developer survey. But there is the catch. Acceleration without stability doesn't really help. If the wheels don't grip the road, the car loses traction and kind of slides out of control. Likewise, a fast code generation doesn't matter if it creates bugs, security issues, or technical debt. And this is exactly what seems to be happening, according to the recent Git Clear report. The amount of added code is growing. The increase is especially noticeable in recent years, when AI tools became more widely adopted. But at the same time, the amount of refactored code is failing compared to adding code, which requires only pressing tab. Code refactoring takes a lot of work. And a good understanding of codebase, of course. And when less refactoring happens, issues tend to accumulate, slowing teams down in the long run. And we are already seeing the effects of this. A majority of developers say that they spend more time debugging and fixing security issues caused by AI-generated code. The need for oversight and quality control is more important than ever. So the big question is, how can we get the benefits of AI without sacrificing the code quality? We built our AI stack to solve exactly this issue. The AI assistant helps with daily productivity, completions, doc generations, in-edited charts, and Junie is a coding agent that handles complex multi-step tasks like feature builds, migrations, all while keeping humans in the loop. Both tools are available under the same JetBrains AI subscription. Now, let's zoom in on Junie. Here's how it works. Developers assign Junie tasks. Junie executes them. Developers review and approve the results. You can give Junie more autonomy or use approval mode to take back the control. This flexible model is a part of why Junie is so effective. Junie is built to deliver, and it's built to deliver real productivity boosts, rigorous quality. At the same time, it's secure and compliant, and you can always count on fast adoption with no workflow disruption. Now, let me break those down in a bit more detail. Here is what our recent user survey tells us about Junie impact on productivity. What we did, we collected feedback from over 270 users, including developers and engineering managers, and 46% of developers report saving between 3 to 8 hours per week while using Junie. Some even save more than 8 hours. So if you convert those savings into the actual monetary value, assuming that a typical developer rate of around $60 per hour, that adds up to $700 to over $2,000 in monthly productivity gains. and that's per developer. So the management perspective aligns with that. And 82% of engineering managers in the same survey say that Junie helps to improve overall team productivity. Like we stated earlier, speed alone isn't really enough. You have to think long term: code quality, maintainability, and security. Quality is non-negotiable, and we take a rigorous approach to it. First, Junie ensures high-quality output. It analyzes alternatives and chooses the best fit solution. Junie uses 25 years of JetBrains IDE's code intelligence to improve AI output quality on a daily basis. And we only switch to new models once they are proven to increase quality. Secondly, Junie helps to improve your code-base quality because it applies project-specific coding rules and guidelines and also suggests refactorings. It also increases test coverage and it spots bugs early before they become expensive production issues. Now, let's talk about security, which is non-negotiable, just like the code quality. We do not train models on your code. Our models are only trained on public, permissively licensed codes, and we don't retain data on our servers or through any subcontractors. Junie is built into JetBrains IDEs, the tools developers already use and love, so there is no need to really break the habit, and there is no new tool to learn. That means faster adoption and no workflow disruption. And because it's built on 25 years of JetBrains tooling and JetBrains expertise, Junie brings the same stability and trust that enterprises already rely on today. Here is what our users say. One of the most common things we hear is how much they appreciate the quality of Junie's output. It's not just about generating code. It's about generating the right code that's maintainable, readable, and fits their style. Users also tell us that Junie often gets the job done in fewer attempts comparing to other tools. They appreciate the deep integration with JetBrains IDEs, which means Junie can understand project structure and context in ways other tools really cannot do that. Now, let's quickly look at how Junie has evolved this year and where it's going next. In January 2025, we publicly announced Junie and launched our early access program. That helped us gather critical feedback from early adopters and iterate really quickly. By April, Junie reached general availability with support for major JetBrains IDEs and the wide range of technologies. Then, in July, we shipped some major improvements that includes GitHub integration, support for model context protocol, and new capabilities for remote development. And now, in August, we are starting to roll out full-scale business solutions that includes admin dashboards for better organization-wide visibility, full AI enterprise support, and much more to come over the next few months. So stay tuned. Now it's time to see Junie in action, and I'll hand it over to Anton, who is the developer advocate in JetBrains.
Hello. Let's take a look at the capabilities of AI tooling in IntelliJ IDEA in action. The tools come in different flavors. We have AI-powered code completions. There are built-in AI actions that can start the new workflows, and there is a coding agent that can do many things at once. Let's take a look at them one by one. In this project, I have an interface to perform calculations with a list of coordinates, and I'm going to create a new instance of that interface. And as I start typing, I can see some code being suggested by the AI completion. I can accept those snippets either token by token or even line by line or even everything at once. Or I can guide this completion by adding some code comments. Find coordinate X and Y for the centroid. And as you can see, I just triggered the completion to generate multiple lines of code. And I can, it's seemingly good enough. I can accept it all at once. There are some parts of the code that I can get rid of. They are redundant. But imagine if I was typing this code myself and I did a few mistakes. For instance, instead of creating or using the built-in API for calculating the sum, I would use an API to calculate an average, which would look slightly different. Map, and then colon average, and then the second line would be slightly different. So as you can see, the AI completion is pretty good in suggesting the code that matches what you already have in the file. But in this case, I would need to do a conversion to cast the doubles to integers. And in this case, I'm kind of doing some redundant work, and it feels wrong. So I can ask the AI assistant to rewrite this code for me slightly. Rewrite this code to get rid of the double to int conversions. And this will trigger the AI model to generate a patch to the file. And as you can see, we are back to the initial solution that was suggested by the AI completion at first. So let's accept this and continue working on this implementation. I want this code to do a slightly different type of calculation. For instance, finding the existing coordinate that is closest to the centroid. So let's add this prompt. And the AI assistant will generate a patch for us and integrate it. We can specify more requirements or constraints so that with the follow-up message it will generate a new patch, or we can just accept it. Now we have seen that the AI assistant can help us by providing the AI completions or generating the code inline inside the editor. We can also invoke the built-in AI actions for asking to explain the existing code or to inspect the code and suggest refactorings, or we can also ask to document the code that we have in the file and even to generate the unit tests. As the test is generated, we can also add more constraints or requirements. For instance, generate more tests to cover the edge cases. And more tests will be generated at the end of the file. There are different AI actions and tools available to streamline your development workflow, but what about the more complicated scenarios? For instance, I can ask the AI assistant to provide the step-by-step instructions to implement the persistence layer with Spring Data JDBC, because we are in a Spring Boot project, to store the coordinates posted to the DS endpoint in a Postgres database. And my expectation is that the model will generate the guidelines. What do I need to do in order to implement this desired functionality? As you can see, it provides the instructions to add the required dependencies, configure the database properties, database access, generate the database schema, and then it also generates the required code. The AI assistant collects the context and all the required information automatically if this code-based mode is toggled on. We can change the models by choosing any of the frontier models or even connecting to a local instance of Ollama or LM Studio with locally hosted models. And we can provide extra files by uploading them to the chat. In this scenario, I would have to go step by step by integrating this code snippets into my project and then running the tests, fixing the code myself again. And this is where I am the agent. I am doing all this work and all the decisions are made by me. In fact, we can streamline this work by delegating the same task to an agent. Junie is the coding agent that we can use for automating our AI workflows. This is the agent that can analyze your query, analyze the code that you have in the project, create a new patch, integrate it automatically, generate tests, run the tests, get the feedback from the tests, and then fix the code accordingly if the tests fail. So a lot of actions are automated within one session. Normally, if I have the task like we had previously for implementing the persistence layer, I would create a requirements document, write out those requirements that I need to implement, and ask the agent to generate a plan, just for myself to confirm what the agent is going to do. There are some example prompts in the UI that you can find. For instance, this one does exactly what I need. Read the file with the requirements, extract the key goals, and then generate the development plan and write it to another file. This is what I want to see before I let the agent to do the work. When I start the agent, it analyzes the query, creates a quick plan to follow in order to implement the tasks that I gave it, and it will analyze the project, scan whatever files it finds that are related to the task that I just handed it, and in a few minutes it will generate the result. The generated plan file contains the summary of all the changes that it's going to perform in order to implement the requirements that we have. And we can actually ask it to generate a task list, a technical task list to follow in order to implement this plan, or we can tell it to implement the required functionality as planned. And while the agent is running, I can inspect whatever it generates and make decisions on how it progresses. I can stop the agent and correct my own plan by specifying either more constraints or requirements. While the agent is running and while it's generating the code, when the code is correct and it compiles, the agent can run the tests in order to validate the solution. If the tests fail, it's going to try to correct so that you get a final result that is of the best quality and that you don't have to adjust too much. As you can see, the agent creates new files in the project. It modifies the existing files as well to integrate the new code. It will adjust the configurations in order to make the project functional as possible, and it will generate the new files for the tests. Once the solution is complete, we can either add the new files to version control or roll it back if the solution doesn't fit our expectations. So this is how we can streamline our development workflows with the AI tools in IntelliJ IDEA.
That was a great demo. Now you might be wondering, how can I get Junie for my team? JetBrains AI is available through several subscription plans, and every plan includes both Junie and the AI assistant. There are 3 options depending on how you use AI. AI Pro is ideal for individual developers or teams with occasional use, so for those teams or for those individuals who are not really using Junie on a daily basis. AI Ultimate is designed for heavy usage in production environments, and we really recommend to use AI Ultimate because that gives you an opportunity to really double down on Junie and get the most productivity out of it. And AI Enterprise, which is designed for large organizations with complex requirements which are related to data retention and so on and so forth. You can explore all the plans using the short link you see on the screen. Now let's focus on AI Enterprise, our most advanced offering. It is a scalable solution designed specifically for large teams and more complex workflows. Junie is fully included in AI Enterprise, so your developers can benefit from the agent experience you saw today without really compromising the security and controls your organization needs. With AI Enterprise, you can enable and disable AI for your whole organization, specific teams, or individuals. You also get enterprise level of security, advanced user and group access management is available as well as a single sign-on authentication. And there is more. With AI Enterprise, you get access to AI audit logs, so you can track interactions between JetBrains AI and external AI services. You can connect to your preferred AI provider using your own keys. So essentially, you can bring your own license, which you already have with, let's say, with the LLM provider. That's also supported by AI Enterprise. And we have flexible deployment options in the cloud, on premises, or in hybrid setups. With that, our webinar is coming to a close, and that's the time to wrap up. We've talked about how AI is reshaping development workflows, and that coding agents are no longer optional. They are becoming a core part of modern software development, and there is the consensus in the industry that the organizations should adopt AI agents. Now the questions are, which ones? Let me leave you with the 4 key points to remember. First, Junie helps teams move faster without compromising on code quality, and this is the business critical thing. Second, teams stay in control. With Junie, your developers have full oversight. Third, it's built with security in mind. We don't retain data on our servers or through subcontractors, as I have already mentioned before. And finally, Junie works right inside JetBrains IDEs, the tools that developers already love, and with the same developer experience which the developers are already used to. That means there is no context switching, just a smooth path to more productive workflows. Before we go, if you'd like your team to try Junie, we've got a special offer for you. You can get access to AI Ultimate free for 30 days with up to 10 seats per company. This offer is valid through September 14th, 2025, but keep in mind, activations are limited, so it's best not to wait. Fill out the form using the link you see on the screen, and you can also find this link in the video description. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope you give Junie a try with your team. Take care.